We're not on fire, don't worry, we're not on fire. Well, good evening, my name is John Paul. It's my pleasure here at Startin Kia Redditch to just give you a quick overview of this fantastic new vehicle. But before I start, this is what is known as a pre-production car. Basically means it's not a finished article. So when you're having a touch and a feel and sitting in a moment, there might be a few bits and pieces you go, oh, this doesn't look or feel right because it's not a finished car. But you can imagine when the cars start to be delivered, they will be a finished item. There are 3 in the country, 1 here, 1 somewhere else, exactly doing this exact same event at exactly the same time, and 1 that was at Goodwood Festival of Speed and is now down at Kia's head office. Because a lot of the guys down there haven't seen the car and still haven't, so you're getting a very early privileged viewing of this fantastic new vehicle. And then when we finish this event, pre-production cars don't have a very happy end to their life, and I can tell you what that is if you would like to know later. But our aim with the EV6 was to both inspire and excite you on every journey with its CUV styling and its cutting-edge engineering and exciting electric performance. So on the start at the front, we've got the fantastic new Kia logo, making us even more premium than we already are. We've got these fantastic new daytime running lights. They're very, very distinctive. We have progressive sequential indicators. You can see those working in a moment. And we're still in summer, but winter is coming, unfortunately. With the LED headlights, we have adaptive driving beam technology. What that basically means is you can put your headlights on full beam and you will never dazzle another car. The LEDs turn themselves on and off depending if there's a vehicle in front of you. So you're not going to dazzle people, but you'll get full visibility. That's a very, very good thing, as you can imagine. Now, from the side, we have a choice of between 19 to 21 inch diamond cut wheels. Now, as soon as you start talking about 19-inch wheels and upwards, people think ride quality. But the suspension's been perfectly tuned, so it doesn't matter what wheel you go for, it's basically a fantastic ride. And if any of you are thinking of the GT version that's coming next year, that has electronically controlled dampers. So from inside the cockpit, you can alter the settings depending in sport, comfort, or road conditions, or your driving mood, basically. Now, you can probably notice there's very short overhangs front and rear. We've pushed the wheels further into the corners of the car. By doing that, we've given you massive more space inside the car. And that's what everyone wants, space, as you can imagine. Now, with the CUV styling, we've got an aero spoiler at the back, we've got a diffuser underneath the back of the car. That's helping the car flow through the air better, cutting down on the drag to give you more miles per charge, and that's what everyone wants. We've got the fantastic, you can just see it glistening there, the LED statement rear light design. You always know there's an EV6 in front of you. We have the capability to tow. Does anyone tow here? Any trailer users? No, that's fine. If you did, we can tow up to 1,600 kilos with the EV6. Now, boot space, very important for people. We have a very generous 520 litres. And to put that in perspective, that's slightly more than you have in a Sportage. And also, it's very much an Americanism, this, in the front trunk, this is a rear-wheel drive version. We have 50 litres of storage space, and if it was an all-wheel drive version, we have 22 litres of storage space. So handy bit of storage there. Now, as Melvin has already said, this is built on what's known as the Electric Global Modular Platform. Try saying that quick 5 times. Now, on that platform, as you've just been told, we have 11 new vehicles coming by 2027, some smaller, some bigger, because the platform is modular. And by using that platform, we help keep costs down for the company and sustainability up. So that's all good. Now, the interior is an inspiring and roomy space. We have an option, 2 trim levels. This is a suede trim with vegan leather inserts, or as a full vegan leather trim. All the steering wheels in all the cars are vegan leather as well. Now, throughout the cockpit, we use recycled plastics. It's the plastics that's PET. Do not ask me to pronounce it because I can't. But we use 111, precisely 111 recycled plastic bottles in the interior, so we're helping cut down on that plastic waste. And the front seats are what's known as relaxation seats. These are 30% thinner than a conventional seat, so again, giving you more legroom and space in the rear. And you can put them fully flat, and that is known as zero gravity position. So when you're all going for a quick charge, you can go for a quick power nap. And it will be a quick nap because of how well it charges, but I'll come to that in a moment. We have a floating centre console, we have wireless charge, we have cubby holes, we have USB ports galore. Everything is exactly where you'd expect to find it. For the driver information, we have a curved panoramic display housing 2 12.3-inch screens, one in front of you or your driver information, one to your left or your infotainment and navigation. Do we all know what heads-up display is? Most people do. Excellent. For anyone who doesn't, very quickly, it just projects an image onto the screen. It's the easiest way of describing it. So you're driving along, you don't need to look down to see how fast you're going or where you need to turn left or right. That information is directly in your eye line. And on the two top models we have, I struggle with this word, augmented reality, where it gives you a 3D image on the screen. So that's a handy feature there as well. And also on this model we have the Meridian premium sound system. So if you're into your music, we have a 14 speaker sound system. Now charging, quite important on an EV charging. We're very proud at Kia. We're one of two manufacturers that has 800 volt charging technology. What that basically means is super fast charging. You can add 60 miles to your range in 4.5 minutes, or go from 10 to 80% in 18 minutes. That's when you're using a 350 kilowatt charger. Now if we combine that with a 77.4 kilowatt battery and a range, now this has changed. Since we started doing this, Kia's figures were 316 miles. There's already been independent tests done, and the range is now up to 328. So we aren't saying it's that, independent tests are saying it's that, so that's a really good thing, as you can imagine. Now also if we connect that, combine that with the Kia Connect app and the Kia charger. Kia Connect is what's taken over from Uvo. So I'm not from this area, so if I was out of the car and want to find a local charging point, I could open the app on my phone, find a charging point locally, or if I was in the car, the nav will find it. And with Kia Charge, if there's again 4 or 5 different charging companies in this area, you can streamline it so at the end of the month you get one bill from Kia Charge rather than 4 or 5 different bills. That just makes your life a little bit easier. Now next year we've got the fantastic GT version coming. Now this is offering supercar performance. Has a drift mode, so if anyone knows what drifting is, you can do a little bit of drifting around the local roundabout, see how good you are till you get arrested. And then also we have a 0 to 62 time of, who's been doing their homework? Come on, swap places, you know more than me, sir. 3.5 seconds and a top speed of 162. I don't recommend you try that on the M42 or the M5, but that's entirely up to you. If you're using Startin's demo, then just give them a speeding ticket, it'll be fine. And like I say, that's just going to be a fantastic one. And also at the end of this, a little bit of you'll see a race on the screen of the EV6 against some quite formidable supercars. Now we have regenerative braking. We all know what regenerative braking is. Excellent. On this we have smart. It has 6 different settings. If we put in this top mode, it's known as iPedal. That is what's known as basically one pedal driving. And honestly, folks, for 99% of the time, you will not need to use the brakes in this car. You come off the power, slows you down, puts energy back in the battery, will bring you to a complete stop. But of course, on odd occasions you need to use the brakes. Please use them for obvious reasons. But the service department, I've already said don't mention this, because they want you to have it switched off. Because you're not using the brakes, you won't be coming in for a set of brake pads and brake this every 2 years. So they want you to keep it turned off, but I'd recommend you keep it on. Now, safety technology, we could go on for 20 minutes, I'm not. But it's good when we have youngsters in the audience. This is a good feature for the youngsters. So your young man there, you've asked him to get out the left rear door because you've parked the car on the road. Completely ignored you as always. He wants to get out of this door. Now with a system called Safe Exit Warning, basically if there's a car or a motorbike in range of the sensors, it won't allow you to open the door. It will beep and not let the door open. So I just think that's a really good feature for troublesome youngsters that I can see he is. Now my favourite feature, now you're bored of me, I'm going to end on this. Does anyone know what vehicle to load is?
No,
good. I will. Normally someone says they do, and I'm like, don't ruin my finale. Now, vehicle to load. Now, if all of a sudden we lost the power to that TV, wouldn't it be clever if I put an adapter into my charging port, put a normal extension cable in it, and power that TV up? And that's what we can do. We can draw up to 3.6 kilowatts of energy out of this car. We can power a TV, a fridge, an aircon, many years ago, hairdryer, but that's another story. So I just think that's a super cool feature. We can even charge that e-Nero, give it a trickle charge. And once your battery gets to 20%, it will stop drawing energy out of the battery so you can't flatten your battery. I just think that's a really cool. Some people would use it, other people never will, but I just think it's a cool feature. So ladies and gents, I'm going to end on that, but we're still in troubled time. Now my boss Georgina, I was saying my assistant, but she's my boss really, so I've got to do what the boss said. We'd like everyone to have a touch and a feel of the car. Excuse me, touch and feel of the car, but if we can, everyone's just going to sanitise again before we touch everything for obvious reasons. That'd be much appreciated. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hand you over to the fantastic staff here at Startin Kia in Redditch, and they're going to answer any questions for you. So come and have a look at the car. So ladies and gentlemen, the new Kia EV6, thank you very much.
simplicity. It moved us forward. And now it's here once again to inspire us. So we can move freely, get inspired, and create new ideas. The Kia EV6, inspiring every journey.
Movement inspires us as a brand. And that inspiration is what gives birth to everything we do. We strongly believe that both brand and design need to work together in symmetry to rise towards a future that will allow us to leave a mark. Opposites united is the definition of that mark. We celebrate nature's perfection and simplicity, and we pay homage to it in everything we do. We want to share with you our vision in which nature and modernity can coexist. We want you to witness that even in moments of tension, you can find a sense of serenity. We believe calm is the moment before the creative tension is unleashed. We want to create memorable and emotional moments in life for you by giving technology a soul. And we're using that technology to put people first. We want you to feel that even through logical reasoning, you can discover joy. We combine them to create a unique Kia experience. Finally, we want to design vehicles that symbolize the power of speed. Redefine the meaning of progress with inventions and innovation that inspire the way you think, move, and live. Opposites United is the inspiration for our designers here at Kia. With that in mind, we strive to create the time and space to inspire you.